Okay, so we are now in the dashboard, and what I want to do is just kind of go through what the elements are here. So when you first go and log in as admin, you're just going to see this, and more or less, this is like the news of the site. So you see, it's like site health status. If you want to write something real quick, things that are happening on the page. Here's some activity of it. WordPress events, and this is customizable. You can drop and put different things in here. I don't use this at all. It's not really all that useful. It's kind of just here, but just be aware that this is where it's going to put you probably first and foremost. So any kind of pressing issues will show up here as well. All right. So then after that, you'll see posts. Posts are, you got to remember that this is actually made as like a blog platform. So the posts are blog posts. So you can, a lot of times websites have blogs built into them. And in fact, when you see blogs, they're actually built off of WordPress as well. So they just don't have the pages section. So this is just if people put posts and stuff, comments, things like that. They go in here so you can create new ones or edit them, delete them, things like that. Underneath that is media. So basically this is the reservoir. This is the bucket that holds all the things that you're going to upload onto your site, like images, videos, files, folders, anything that you're going to embed into your site. When you upload them, this is where they go. This is basically just the folder that holds them in general. So, if you look at my site, you'll notice that, I'll have, on this one, I have things where I have like pictures and videos. But in other classes and stuff, I have 3D models, so they're in here. I have games that are in here, all sorts of different stuff. And they all exist inside this media library. Okay, so you don't have to use this necessarily in here, but just be aware that that's what that is. Pages are the pages of your site. So all the pages so this only has 2 by default, sample page and privacy, but all of your pages will exist here. So if you were to look at mine, I have over 200 pages on my site. And this is where they are stored. This is where you create them and delete them, and same thing like the post. Technically, pages are a post type. There's other post types as well. But these are the 2 default ones that exist in here. That's a different thing for another time. Comments, you get comments on your site. Again, never use this. I don't have any sections on my site that I put comments on, but if there were some, they would exist here. Appearance deals with the appearance of your site. So we're going to deal with this a little bit, but we're going to be adjusting the theme. And the theme is sort of the styling of the site, if you will, sort of your CSS in a way. It's more than that, but that's kind of the idea behind it. It controls the overall look. But you can also do things in here where you can work in the front end. That's the customize area. There's widgets, which are little things that you can set up in the sidebar where it's like a search bar or the latest comments or things like that. That's what widgets are. Menus. So obviously your menus, you create your menus in there. The background. The theme editor, where you can go in and change the code of the theme, although this is not generally suggested. So that's what appearance does. Plugins are for plugins, basically where appearance controls the overall look. Plugins control function. So if you want to have like a mortgage calculator in your thing, right, then you could like find a plugin somewhere and install it, and then it'll be like a calculator that someone can interact with. Or let's say you want to have a carousel that you can click and go next slideshow. That will do that. Or you want to have a light box where if you click on a picture, it pops open and the rest of the thing goes dark. All sorts of stuff. Or you want to have it so it prints out like happy birthday or does thing. Like it's basically adds functional aspects to it. Some of it's front end, like I was just showing you. Some of it's back end where it'll be like, it'll keep track of how many people have visited and where they're visiting from, or how you make your pages. It'll have a way of making like an interactive way, or something as simple as being able just to clone a page. That will be plugins. Okay. Users is where you control the users that are in the site. So that would be yourself as well as like admin. So right now it's just you're just the admin. But a really common thing to do when you are a web designer is you're usually going to be making a web page for a client. So what you'll do is you'll make yourself an admin, and then you'll make your client, you'll give them a role as well, but it's slightly less than yours. So that they can enter content, like let's say it's a restaurant, they have a new menu item. You can show them like, okay, this is how you're going to add new things to the menu. But they won't be able to like do other aspects. You can control basically what people are allowed to do on the site. Tools, we don't really use too much. Basically, it's like import and export, that kind of stuff. You don't really do anything with that, to be honest. Settings are the general settings. It just kind of controls what the default values are for things. Like how time is represented or what the name of the site is, things like that. And that's what you see over here. So what I want you to do just for now, just go to the settings and then just go general. And then you'll see the site title, and you'll see the tagline. So if we were to look at our site here, I already clicked on it earlier, you can see CMS Site, and this says just another whatever, and you can also see it here. Let's just go ahead and change that. So we'll just say, you can make it whatever you want. I really don't care. But I'm saying, Tone's first we'll say WordPress site. WordPress site with an exclamation point. And we'll say, not just another WordPress site. It is the best site ever. You will see. You are wrong. You are all wrong. It's very important that when you do taglines, you make them really, really long. Obviously, you don't want to do that. Just anyway. So we do that. We can also change the time here. I don't really care about any of that. And yeah, we'll just hit Save Changes. Okay, and if I go over here and I click on this tab and refresh, you'll see that now it'll have like the new thing. Okay, so just do that, hit Save Changes, and those changes will be saved. If you do want to preview your site and you don't have this there, like let's say I close this tab out, all you have to do is if you click on up in the top left here, you just click on, I know the visit site, it's the same thing, but you click on that and just click on it. It'll bring you to the front of the site. You're going to notice that when you're logged in, you get this extra little bar here. And that is that's because you're logged in as admin. A normal person would not see this black bar. And in fact, actually, when we clicked on View Site, if you would have looked at the site initially without logging in, we wouldn't have seen this, okay? So just be aware that that's why that exists. And if we want to go back to the dashboard, you just click on this again. You can click on this and then this, but if you just click on it, it'll bring you back to the dashboard. So just click on this to go back and forth between the front end and the back end in order to preview, what you've done so far.